My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's the Al Travis Show. We've got our Senator Susan Kent in a bit we call Yeah, but our cleanup in all night. And to be quite frank, I'm generally not scared of any of our guests. If I am, she would be it. And this week, more scared than ever. Thanks for being here, Senator.
Well, at least we're in separate places since I have COVID and you're not
well,
here.
So I sent my text out. Hey, everybody, get ready for tomorrow. And you're like, well, I've had COVID for 4 days or 5. And I'm like, uh-oh.
I gotta keep the mute button handy in case I sneeze.
Well, it isn't the mute button so much. You're probably the only one. I get a little Putnam problem, I guess, once in a while. But you're probably the only one people give me a hard time about. She really cut into Al, or she really, and it's like, fine, I can live with it. I couldn't imagine you with COVID and not sleeping and being sick. This could be dangerous for me today. If you're ornery on a good day.
Here's the thing though. I'm kind of fuzzy headed, so I'm not going to be quick on the draw.
Oh, good. She's not sharp. That's what. Now I've got some hope.
So don't take advantage of me.
You're going to hate me for this because it's going to sound like I really don't care, but I do. Are you verifiably COVID? You throw that out now because we're 5 years from the pandemic, so people can make jokes about it. Do you know you're COVID-y?
Well, my husband took a test and he was very positive, and then I took a test and I was very positive. So yeah,
I like very positive. It's like I'm very positively pregnant.
Very pregnant, right? Yeah.
For old school people, like, what are they talking about? Yeah,
well, it's that thing where they say don't read it until it happens, till after 15 minutes or whatever. Yeah, and it was like, just like the second I dropped this stuff in there and the line turns bright red, and my husband's like, and it was like, I can't read it yet. It could change.
So you're very positive with the COVID. Doesn't scare us like it used to. You're up. I can tell you're up in the cabin. So just a bunch of sickies walking around, not infecting each other back and forth, I presume.
That's what we're trying to avoid, is so that we don't all go down with it. Yes, exactly. But
because I'm not sure. Again, I was never all that scared of COVID. I know what happened. I'm not trying to diminish anything, but my daughter-in-law and son, we went and saw on Halloween. And they had said they just spent the week. They're coming out of this thing, but they're still sniffing and wheezing. And I said, well, what was it? Well, it feels like a cold. I'm sorry, before you described the exact same symptoms they had, the tired. So I'm like, okay, people get colds. Again, I'm not worried about it, but I wasn't hanging with them. I'm not tight. I don't need to be sick. Literally, we get back on Sunday, and the wife's down, runny nose, stuffy nose, the head, and the thing. And then I'm coming down, I'm sneezing and wheezing. It's like, oh, my God. It probably is the COVID, because you weren't even 6 foot. I know I wasn't hanging with them. I mean, tight. So I think it's going around, but it is more.
It is going around. Yeah.
But it's cold. It's a cold now. Like everyone I've talked to got it. It was tough. Yeah. But it wasn't I lost my taste and all that.
I mean, now we all have some sort of immunity because we either had it or we've had vaccines and that kind of thing, right? So and that's the thing. It keeps it from being as severe, which is a good thing. And the disease is mutating, which is normal. Yeah. And so it is, but it still is. It's like the flu kills people every year, a bunch of them.
And I'm not trying, not playing it down.
So yeah.
And I'm not playing it down, but my point is we don't react the way we did. I mean, 5 years ago, we got it. Yeah. And now you're like, you took the test. You called it COVID, but that could have been a joke. But you really did get the test. You know it's COVID.
Really,
okay, fair enough. I hope you get well soon.
I do think it's good to know, and then that way we can make decisions. And because there are people who this would,
knowledge is power.
If my mother were living here, I would not be visiting her with this at all. My mother with Parkinson's and a memory care. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, understand. And hope you get well soon.
Thank you.
Even during the big COVID time, I must have it once or twice because they ran through the family, but I never really got sick from it. The sneezing and the stuff I had, okay, I'm already over it in 2 days. It doesn't do much to me, and I'm just knock on wood. Hopefully you get better. A lot going on, however, while you're in the Northwoods with the Bears. Let me ask you this. How does Northwoods Halloweening go? I mean, you don't leave the candy on the porch and say, please take one, or the Bears would be over, right? I mean, you're not doing that.
Well, I think, I know, because I was in Grand Marais picking up supplies after my husband had tested positive, because I figured I might fall too and might as well stock up, for the next however many days. And there were people in there buying candy at the grocery store. And so, in town, I think they have normal trick or treating. But, where we are, everybody's on like 5-acre lots. There aren't really kids here. These tend to be older couples, without kids. And so, and I know, I saw a thing because I was really curious about that. And actually my husband and I had a conversation about it, because it's like, what do they do for Halloween up north? And there was a post. There's a really great metal artist who lives kind of down the hill from us. And so he had posted something about with the Lutsen volunteer fire department trucks, and they were someplace handing out candy, and it was a big deal. So they create a thing, but it wasn't on actual Halloween.
When you're using that much territory, I mean, some of these cities do like the Halloween trunk or treat or whatever. You park your truck in backward, dress up, and make it easy on the kids. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to put you in a bad light. I was like I said, I have no idea.
This was new to us. We had no idea, because I don't know that we've spent Halloween up here before. So
yeah. Again,
we were up here because last week we talked about my husband's thing with Dark Skies, because there was an event on Thursday night we were going to go to up at Grand Portage for the Cook County Chamber annual gala thing, and he got sick, so we didn't go. So our whole reason for being here, we didn't.
And then you get the vid and you're just stuck there, because why come home and share it here? So you're just going to stay up there?
But the views are lovely, and I can go out and feed the chickadees when I want fresh air. So
the chickadees, good God.
I love the chickadees.
I know you do. We're going to go to break early. I do not want to spend a ton of time on all the elections, but there's some that are very important and big. Oh my God. I said it to Putnam earlier. Don't grab the paper today. If you're going to miss the paper today, miss today's, because it is just the third ward of the third seat and they got to report it. I'm not ripping it, but oh my God. The highlights.
I crunched my own numbers. So yeah.
No, you just make them up. Oh, interesting. No. You should work no.
I do math, Al.
We'll talk about those. We have some very big ones that are really going to affect the state in so many ways people don't even know, but we could have up to 3 more special elections coming up.
I know.
you light up.
That one dawned. That's like, oh wow.
Yeah, we'll talk with Senator Susan Kent about that. The Mandami deal, all of it's coming up right here on the Al Travis Show.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red-Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
Think about it. Now that school's back in session, how are Minnesota students doing? Not very well. Minnesota ACT scores fell again last year and are the lowest they've been in 10 years. In fact, fewer than half of Minnesota students can either read or do math at grade level. Think about it. We used to brag about our schools. Now we're losing to states like Mississippi. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
Clean up at aisle 9 or Yeah But with Senator Susan Kent. I actually had a pretty good friend, lefty, label people, but he leans to the left, and he got a hold of me pretty early this morning and wanted to know my thoughts. Like, what do you think of the election? And this is just me. None of it was all that surprising. Maybe some of the differences, from vote totals, but I don't think Mamdani winning in New York was a surprise. They've been talking about him for, however long, so he ends up winning it. Okay, I wasn't surprised. The Frey Fatah thing, I want to talk about that in a second. Maybe that her in St. Paul, but again, I know who she is because she's a rep, but I wasn't paying attention to the St. Paul mayoral race. It's not news to me. Right. Well, we'll talk about the others, but let's start at the top. Mamdani winning in New York. What I told my friend was, I am old enough that I would have told you, I don't think in my lifetime a socialist will win a race in America. Because I know my dad would have rolled over. We didn't fight World War II for this, and I get times change. But that one's stunning me only because, and I'm going to give it to you. My point is, when I look at that, it's a little shocking to me. It doesn't shock that he wins, and New York gets what New York's votes for. I am not saying anything. You got it. I'm just saying that that's just not something I would have thought about 100 years ago.
Here's the problem with this, the way this conversation always works. He's a democratic socialist. Yeah. Right? That's a Bernie Sanders thing, right? Bernie
New
Sanders
term,
Bernie Sanders has called himself a democratic socialist forever, and it's modeled after some of the Scandinavian models. And socialism is like government ownership and control of private production, right? Mm-hmm. None of these people want that. They want more regulation to sort of level the playing field between the corporate interests and working people, right? I mean, that's the constant tension, right? That, are the big companies with all the wealth and the power to hire and fire and pay and not pay and all that, do they have too much control over the working people, and what should be the role in government of that? That's the crux of it, right? So I get really mad when people talk about quote unquote moderate Democrats as being corporate Democrats. It's like, it's just a measure of degree, mm-hmm. But we generally share values of wanting to make sure that working people have a fair shot. And, so that looks different in New York. And, I lived in New York for a couple of years. It's been fascinating for me to watch this. I honestly think that my disdain for Andrew Cuomo is really strong. So
well, for a guy who didn't have a pony in this race, because that Sweewall guy, I mean, are you kidding me? Give it up, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
So who are you voting for?
He's been there forever, right? And he was hanging around. He was doing Guardian Angels when I lived there in the mid 80s, so I was just like, oh my goodness. Anyway, but if they had another Democrat running, that person probably would have won. But because Cuomo is who Cuomo is and what he's done, somebody said, his father, Mario Cuomo, ran to get rid of people like Andrew Cuomo, which is really hard thing to
it's
say,
New York politics, and we're talking about it too much, but agreed. It was like, and again, he calls him Democratic Socialist. He wants, government, grocery stores and free buys. Fine.
Not free groceries, but he wants to
government-run grocery
he's
stores.
Saying there should be some government involvement in it so that people have access to affordable groceries.
But my point is, you have that choice, or Andrew Cuomo, who y'all booted out last. Could you ask for two not worse, but unattractive candidates?
The thing that I think is interesting too, and the media, and I get really mad at this, and this has been my experience too when I was in office. Like when I challenged Tom Bach for leadership, everybody made it be that I was the more progressive person from the suburbs, and he was super conservative down from the range, which is, there was an element of truth to that was absolutely the case. There were issues that he and I differed on. But, bottom line, it was more about the caucus and how we were operating and who was going to be actually listening to the members of the caucus and reflecting their desires in the way we did things, right? And so, everybody tries to make this be about, conservative or moderate or liberal or
No.
socialist or whatever, right? And the reality is it's more complicated than that. And the thing that Mamdani did so well was the tactics of his campaign, the way he was out there, the way he was in the community, the way he was just upbeat. I mean, it kind of evokes Obama with hope and change. I mean,
I was going to say it evokes Trump. His last day of campaigning was at in the bars, getting the mics, and hey, be sure to, kids love that crap. And so I meant that in the positive sense.
With people, right? Yeah.
I only got 4 minutes to cover this because I don't want to get too in the woods. Right now,
come back and talk to Minnesota though. So.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Minneapolis Fry and is current. We got to give it time. We don't have that's right there. Fry is leading 42% to Senator Fattah's 32%. Oh, hold on, we're not done yet. You got they have the ranked choice voting thing, folks. This is crazyville, in my opinion. So now they recount. So all the little guys at the bottom that didn't get enough to stay in, they will get out, and their votes will now go. Who's your second choice? Yeah. And this is positive to Fattah. This is him being smart. He went with those like a pack of four of them. They all said anything but Fry. So meaning vote for any of us you want, but make the next choice. Guy.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we could wake up tomorrow now, and that 10 points is gone, and Fattah could be the mayor. Yeah. What are your thoughts on ranked choice voting? To me, that is nuts.
Well, I don't think it's nuts. I think the premise of it is really good. I think we're still figuring it out. It gives people ultimately a majority, and it saves taxpayer money, and it also saves time on not having to do runoffs and stuff. So I'm still, the jury is out on ranked choice voting and the other thing that it does is, like you say, it stops a lot of the negative campaigning. It forces candidates to not annoy the people who are voting against them. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's another balancing act. But here I am. And this is me. So Frey and Fattah, all their people, those 74%, all voted for who they wanted. And that's locked in. Boom, you get it. The other than 26% voted for who they wanted, and now they get, quote unquote, a second vote. But my second choice would be, and that's going to make a difference one way or the other in this. Doesn't seem so democratic to me. Everybody gets a vote. You get a couple if you vote for the loser at the bottom.
If you only want to vote for Jacob Fry, you can only vote for Jacob Fry, and the same thing with Senator Fattah. You can still do it that way. It's just if there is
but other people get to do it the other way, and they get more votes.
But again, the other thing that this solves with runoffs is you inherently have better turnout. And it doesn't cost as much. You're going
to have to work on that sales pitch for me a little bit, and we'll do St.
I'm not selling it. That's my.
We'll do St. Paul real quick before you go. Representative Herr, that's like a regular race. 48% to Carter's 45%. She is now the mayor of St. Paul, mayor-elect of St. Paul. So she is one. They're not doing anything. That is a done deal. Congratulations to her. This opens up the whole can of worms. We'll talk about on the other side for so many reasons. Let's say Fattah does get this win with, like I say, the second votes. He's a senator. You need a special election. Yep. Representative Herr, she's already a representative. She has to have her seat filled. Need another special election.
Woodbury.
Oh, that's what the whole meat and taters were about this whole thing we're going to talk about. We'll do it on this side of the break. Senator Susan Kent in with Clean Up in 9, or but the COVID edition. Ooh, that kind of makes it scary. We should have done back after this with more.
Hey, Brian, what do you call a lobbyist with a sense of humor?
Me?
Close. Momentum advocacy.
We help clients get real